Hey guys, Respawn27 here, and oh my god, I can't believe we got a release date! Yeah, I just found out today that we got an official release date on the upcoming Diamond Is Unbreakable anime. The first episode is going to be premiering on April 1st. Same channel, same time. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if this is some sort of like weird, sick April Fool's joke that David's production is gonna pull, but I'm really hoping that it is April 1st because you know what this means? Diamond Is Unbreakable will be premiering in 2 weeks. 2 weeks! Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay, as much as this is great news, the only bad thing about this is that I won't be able to finish my top 10 villains of Stardust Crusaders on time before the anime premieres. Aside from that, yay! Diamond Is Unbreakable coming soon in April 1st! I really hope that this isn't an April Fool's joke. Please don't let this be an April Fool's joke. Well, I might as well just tell you this now. So, this will contain some spoilers to the Part 4 manga, so you have been warned. My info on Part 4 has been limited to some people telling me about things about it and the video games. Now, they haven't really spoiled me on anything too major, but here's what I know about Part 4 so far. It's supposed to be a lot longer than Part 3, so it makes me wonder if we're gonna get like 2 seasons of Diamond Is Unbreakable, which might be likely. And I know that this is supposed to take place 11 years after the events of Stardust Crusaders, because this takes place in 1999. I'm also aware that Jotaro and Joseph are going to return in Part 4. I already know what they look like in Diamond Is Unbreakable, and I gotta say, Joseph looks old! Like, holy crap! And speaking of Joseph, I'm not too happy on what he did. Apparently before the events of Stardust Crusaders, he cheated on Suzy Q with this one woman who I don't really know her name is. All I know is that she is the mother of Josuke Higashikata, aka the 4th JoJo in Diamond Is Unbreakable. Yeah, I know Josuke's connection to the Joestar bloodline, and I gotta say, what the hell, Joseph? What the hell? I mean, like, why would you do that to Suzy Q? I thought you guys had a nice, happy marriage. This is actually something I really want to know. I mean, how did this affair even happen? I mean, was this like a drunken one-night stand? Was this going on for so long? Did Joseph seduce her? Did she seduce Joseph? Like, is that gonna be explained in the anime? I mean, I really want to know. Well, I'm still disappointed in Joseph, but I hope I'll like his Part 4 counterpart. I just hope he gets involved in at least like one fight and use Hermit Purple again. I doubt he'll use Hamon again because Part 3 was like the last time we've ever seen of Hamon, so yeah, boo. But aside from that, I really hope Joseph does get to participate. And it was Jotaro. I gotta admit, when I first saw what he looked like in the manga, I thought he didn't age at all. In fact, he looked the same except maybe a bit taller. It was just kind of weird. But I did hear that he's going to have more of a mentor kind of role, especially towards Josuke, which I think is pretty cool considering his past experience as a stand user. Although I do have like one question with Star Platinum. Since, you know, it could stop time now for, I think it was like 5 seconds. I don't know if it could still stop time for 5 seconds, but whenever Star Platinum activates the time stop, is it called the world? Because it'd be kind of weird if Jotaro calls his own time stop the world, considering that that was Dio's thing. That was Dio's technique. Then again, Star Platinum and the world are the same type of stance, so yeah. Anyway, from what I know about the plot of Part 4, Jotaro and Joseph go to Moriocho, or Morio Town, the town that Josuke lives in, to not only find Josuke, but to also investigate mysterious stand users that have appeared in the town, and to search for a serial killer named Yoshikage Kira, the main antagonist in Part 4. Since I know there are plenty of minor antagonists in Part 4, I'm wondering if this is going to be like with Stardust Crusaders. Every episode focusing on an enemy stand user until you get to the main baddie. Which honestly, I don't know if that's going to be a good or a bad thing. And I do know that some of the minor antagonists turn good, eventually becoming allies to Josuke, but I don't know exactly who is going to start off bad and turn good, so that's definitely something I'm looking forward to seeing. Also, there is a special device involved in part 4. It might be a plot device, I'm not sure, but it is the bow and arrow. All I know is that it is connected to the origins of stands, which I'm really looking forward to learning about, and it is definitely connected to Dio, because in the Star Wars Crusaders anime, we've seen that bow and arrow in Dio's mansion. But my question is, if this bow and arrow is somehow connected to the creation of stands, then how does this explain the stand users that were born with stands, that weren't affected by this bow and arrow, which can somehow create stands? I don't freaking know. All I know is that it's connected to stands in some way, but I really want to know is, how is this connected to the origin of stands? Who made this bow and arrow? Where did it originally come from? How did Dio get his hands on it? And how did it end up in Morio? Was this part of Dio's backup plan in case he died or something? Wait, I don't think it is, because fucking Eyes of Heaven spoiled the diary of what Dio's true plan was, which was never mentioned in Stardust Crusaders. I mean, what the hell? But you know what, that's a topic for another day. Now, I don't know a lot about the Part 4 stands, but what I do know is that some of the stands are going to be a lot weirder and crazier than the previous stands that we've seen so far, which is saying something. But I did hear about some stands to look out for, which is Cheap Trick and Superfly. I know Weeaboss mentioned Superfly for some reason, I don't know why. Oh, I do know that I think there's a stand called Highway Star or something. I'm not sure, but I know that it has something to do with a really cool motorcycle chase scene or something. So I'm definitely looking forward to like seeing that in the anime. As for characters, I do know some of the characters in Diamond Is Unbreakable. There is the main character, the 4th JoJo, Josuke Higashikata, which I already talked about his connection to the Joestar bloodline. I don't know a lot about his personality, but I think it might be a mix between Joseph's and Jotaro's. I know that he's going to be a very likable guy, and I do know that if you insult his hairstyle, he gets really pissed off, which I don't know why, but I bet it's going to be really funny to see in the anime. His stand, Crazy Diamond, I think is actually one of the most practical and coolest stands that I've seen so far. I mean, it has the ability to heal people and to repair objects, and you know, just like Star Platinum going ora 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 every time he attacks, Crazy Diamond goes do da 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 da. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing Crazy Diamond. And of course, every JoJo needs a best bro. In this case, I think it's Okuyasu. I know he is good friends with Josuke, and I know that he is an idiot, but considering how much I really liked Polnareff in Part 3, I think I might like Okuyasu. I know that his stand is called the Hand, and I think it has the ability to cut space or something. I think it works similar to Vanilla Ice's stand Cream in some way, but that's all I know about it. Then there's Koichi, another friend of Josuke. I know he's like very short, and he has a stand called Echoes. But the thing is, his stand has like different forms, which I don't know why, but I think it's because his stand evolves and develops over time. I know stands can do that, some faster than others, so this might be the case for Koichi. And then there's Rohan Kishibe. What I know about this guy is that he is a manga artist and writer, and he's an asshole. But considering how popular he is in the JoJo fanbase, especially with Hirohiko Araki himself, I think he might be one of those like likable assholes. So I hope I'll like Rohan, even though he might come off as an asshole to me. I don't know. I don't know much about his stand, but I do know that it allows Rohan to open people's faces like pages, which looks kind of creepy if you look it up. Plus, this allows him to like go through all your personal information when he looks through your pages. Like, really good stand for using like spy work or gathering intel. Then there's this one character named Shigechi who just looks weird, and I don't know anything about this guy. All I know is that his stand has multiple entities, which is the very first new type introduced in Diamond Is Unbreakable, which I think is pretty cool, like having a stand that has multiple entities. Then there's Yukako, who is a female stand user, which is a character that I'm really worried about getting into because, well, she's a yandere. And considering what we've seen so far with yanderes in anime and manga, she's gonna be very, very scary. Also, her stand is her hair, so in a nutshell, it's gonna be like Bruford from Part 1 Phantom Blood. Okay. Then there's Akira, which I think he's a minor antagonist in Part 4. And for a minute there, I really thought his stand was his guitar, because how freaking awesome would it be if your stand is a musical instrument? But no, his stand apparently is a electric type stand called Red Hot Chili Peppers. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh my god. I am so looking forward to seeing that stand. And then there's this character named Tonio, who's a chef and a stand user, whose stand, by the way, I have no idea what it does, let alone what it looks like, but all I know is that Josuke's gonna punch some spaghetti. Yeah, that's what I've heard from other people, that there's gonna be some spaghetti punching. I don't know why. But then again, this part is not only gonna have spaghetti punching, but a game of rock, paper, scissors, a lottery, and aliens. Yeah, I don't know why these are gonna be involved in JoJo. I just... oh my god. I'm not even into the part yet, and just hearing these things just sounds so freaking weird to me. And of course, the main baddie in Part 4, someone who I'm really, really looking forward to seeing, Yoshikage Kira. From what I know about him, he is a serial killer who kills women and cuts off their hands because he has a thing for hands, which is kind of creepy. And his stand is called Killer Queen. Not only does his stand look cool, and plus, you know, his face looks like a cat, and I like cats. But it is named after a song from one of my favorite rock bands, Queen. That alone is awesome enough. But its ability, I think it has the ability to blow stuff up somehow. All I know is that it involves with explosions. Which in hindsight is a basic ability in anime and manga, but I am looking forward to seeing how Killer Queen utilizes this ability. And another reason why I'm looking forward to seeing this new villain is because I hear a lot of good things about this guy as a villain, and a lot of people like him. In fact, some might like him even more than Dio, which makes me curious on what he's gonna be like in Part 4. I just hope that he's not gonna be hidden in the shadows, not doing a lot, you know. I just hope that we get to see like more of him, like in between fights or something, you know. And well, that's basically all I know about Part 4 Diamond Is Unbreakable. I'm really looking forward to seeing the anime, which might actually be in April 1st. I really hope that the censorship will be toned down, because I was really annoyed with the censorship in Star Wars Crusaders. I mean, there were scenes that were okay, but there were scenes that weren't. And I hope that the animation quality would be really, really good. And I also wish all the best for the voice acting cast, at least what we know so far on who's voicing who. I hope, though, that they do keep the voice actor for Yoshikage Kira from All-Star Battle and Heights of Heaven, because I think he did a good job. And speaking of Kira, I want to know is, why is there two of them? Because there is another Kira who goes by a different name for some reason. Maybe Kira one day decided to disguise himself and go as a different person and change his name or something, but that's my theory. Anyway, even though this is all I know about Part 4 so far, I hope that I'll still be surprised and I'll still be shocked and sad and happy. You know, went through the same emotions that I went through with Star Wars Crusaders while I'm watching the entire anime, getting into the new series. And you know what, if you think about it, parts 1, 2, and 3 are a trilogy of the first generation of JoJo's, and parts 4, 5, and 6 is the trilogy for the next generation. Part 4 being the first part of this next trilogy. Anyway, really looking forward to the return of JoJo Fridays, and I'm really looking forward to doing reaction videos again on JoJo. So I guess until April 1st, until the beginning of the new Bizarre Adventure, I'm LunarsBomb27, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.